Hey guys, so I'm back to give you another tour of our roomette. The beds are made and it's a little bit different on this train. We are on the Empire Builder. So I'm going to show you around the room a little bit again because it's a bit different. This is actually a little bit older train. We thought maybe it was a little bit newer because it was a bit more spacious, but they actually condensed it a little bit when they redesigned the cars. So this is actually a little bit older train. But I want to show you one of the things that's different is if we look closely here in the corner, the light in the corner has a little button that you flip here, and then you've got actually volume control in here, which I think is a great feature. So what you're controlling is the volume of, you can turn it up or down. So if you want it louder or quieter, and it's the announcements that you'll hear inside here, but you can also turn it off and you don't have to hear the announcements at all if you don't want to, if you're sleeping or whatever in the night, which I just figured out after the first night. So anyways, now you know that if you're in the train and it says music control, you're actually controlling the volume of the announcements that are being made. Like right now there's an announcement being made outside. You can't hear it in here because I had turned it off in here. Yay. Then you also have the push button here for calling the attendant to come and if you need anything in the room, like if you want drinks, because you have unlimited beverages on the train, you can call the attendant, they can come and do that, or you can have the attendant make the beds for you or break them down for you, and you don't have to worry about trying to figure that out or having to wrestle it or anything like that. So that's great too. And then you also have the light switch that turns the overhead lights on and off. Or you can also have one of the two lights on, and it's actually going to be just one of the two lights because it's like they call it the night light. And then on this other side, let me see if I can get over here and turn this light off. And so what I want to show you is in this corner is there's the control for, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a control here in the corner for the air or the heat, depending on the time of the year, obviously. And then there's also an outlet here to charge things. What I like about this one, which I don't know if you'll be able to see if I show you here, is that it protrudes out as opposed to being flat, which is actually very helpful when you're charging stuff because a lot of these plugs that we have now are kind of big and bulky, and so if it's in, it's harder to, and they're bigger, it's harder to get them in there. So it's nice that it sticks out because then you can pretty much use it for just about anything. So Rob is actually sleeping on the top bunk, and he's going to give you a little tour of what things look like up there. Here you go.
All right, so I like to call this up here the Amtrak penthouse. And that just makes me feel better. It's a little bit smaller space. As you can see, this is the ceiling, and kind of leaning up on your elbow, your head will hit the ceiling. Although this car, there is probably about 2 inches more space than the last one we were on the Coast Starlight. So keep that in mind. If someone doesn't like tight spaces like this, they're probably going to want to be on the bottom. So I want to show you the features and the kind of the nice things about being up here. First of all, you do have, you have a light, but you do have these little cubby holes. We've got washcloths up here, but I put, either snacks or my phone or something in there. You do have a hook here that you can hang stuff from, and sometimes I hang my headphones from there at night. Also, there's these safety harnesses here that you hook in. You just hook them right into the ceiling, and they don't feel like they're gonna do much for you, but honestly, if you were to fall, I think they would catch me pretty easily. So that's a good thing.
It's like seatbelt material.
Like a seatbelt material, yeah. One other thing I wanted to show you, which I thought was very interesting, was when we got into the room, there was no airflow, and the reason was the last person that had this room took this duct tape and had duct taped it over these air vents, and I was like, why did they do that? And This is the Empire Builder, so it is kind of cold outside, and this air does get cold at night. So I think they just made their own air vent blocker. So we just took it off because I wanted the air anyway, put it on there. But just know that whoever is on the top is going to be colder than the person on the bottom, because the air basically shoots right at you. So you do have to contend with that. The other thing I would say is you want to have your feet, when you're sleeping, down on the stairs end of the bunk, because it is almost impossible, because of how tight this is, to turn around in here. And so when you get out of the bunk, you just want to kind of slide down and put your feet down like this, which I'm going to do now, so I can show you a few other things and a few other tips that are up here. So now that I'm down a little bit, you can see that there's this black kind of netting that holds actually a lot of stuff. So I have quite a few snacks up here. I have my Nintendo, have some water, basically anything I would need in the night. And then there's this little pouch, which is where I put my glasses and such. The other thing to keep in mind about the top bunk is that there are no outlets up here. In fact, there's only one outlet in the entire room. So what I do for that is I have brought a portable power bank, and I can plug my phone and my batteries into that, and they can be charging up here, and I don't have to try to string one down there or get one from Allie in the night. So the last thing that I would say, tip that I would have if you're staying on the top bunk, is you want to have a pair of flip-flops to have on the floor down there, because it would be almost impossible to put shoes on up here. And if you try to put them on down there, you're probably going to wake the person up. You're going to have to sit on their bed to do it. So I would definitely bring flip-flops if you're trying to go out at night or use the bathroom, whatever, because it is it's fine for sleeping, but it's pretty tight for maneuvering and trying to do anything else. The mattress is pretty, it's pretty good, but I would say I've slept down there too. It's more firm up here than it is down there, because it's kind of like a double layer of cushions down there compared to this one, which is more like a single layer. So with all that said, I really do enjoy it up here, and I think the roomette is a very good way to go as opposed to being in coach. So I'm going to give this back down to Allie to finish the tour, but this has been the penthouse of Amtrak.
Okay, so now you're back down to the lower level, non-penthouse area of the room. And just a couple quick things. As Rob was coming down the steps, as he was coming down from the penthouse, he stepped on these steps here, and these are actually for you to come down. So you think that you're going to store things here, but you really shouldn't, because it's going to be a problem for the person up above when they're coming down the stairs. So these are actually the steps for that person to come down. And then there's also a trash down here. It's marked, and they'll empty that for you if it fills up. Just let your room attendant know, and they'll come and clean that up for you. One more thing is that there is kind of a closet-like area here. You can see we've got some hangers up above. You probably saw it from when Rob had it up there. But you can hang some stuff there if you have like a jacket or something like that that you wanted to hang. You could do that up there. There's a space here, and then there's also a little bit of space down in this area as well. So hopefully this has been very helpful to you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give us a like, and we'll see you on our next train ride.